And how did you decide where to plant and what to plant, what grape varieties to choose? Because I read that at the beginning they acquired quite a huge land, and the vineyards is just a smaller percentage. So how did you decide which plots should be planted and to what variety?
Yeah, well, that's a very good question, because as we did everything different, before to buy the property, the family, they um, asked the team to study everything before, let's say, all the soils, microclimate, the climate, everything, to select the best rootstocks and the best varieties. At the beginning, everything that all the data that we have point that this will be an amazing terroir for red wines. So that was the first idea, and that's why we choose Cabernet Sauvignon, Carmener, Syrah, Cabernet Franc, and Merlot. Already, today we have 300 hectares planted. The property is 4,300 hectares. It's big property. We have 6 valleys inside of the property. When I'm talking about a valley in the property, is that this valley is surrounded by mountains. It has a creek in the middle, and each valley is separate from the other. So different realities. So that makes this vineyard and this property very special, because we have different realities, different sun exposures, different type of soils. The influence of the ocean, the wind that comes from the ocean is different in the valleys. So we did, for your question, we did a research about the different soils that we have. We did more than 1,000 pits to understand the soil. We did all the work and the research about the different microclimate in each valley. So for your question, how we choose the rootstock depending on the soil. So we did a map of the different soils, blocks. So this block is, let's say, I will say it's something 30% clay. This one is rocks and sand. This one is sand and clay. This one is, so different blocks, little blocks. We have more than 350 blocks, so less than an hectare. So okay, for this 30% clay soil will be this rootstock, 10114. For the rocks and sand will be R110. For this type of soil, we select exactly the type of root that we want for our wines. That means a root that goes very deep, because in the future we were thinking we want the vines to get in balance and to look for the water by themselves. So today in the Piedmonts, we don't need to irrigate. After 18 years, we don't need to irrigate. On the hills, it's different. We have to, because it's 2 meters deep, no more than that, the soil. Then you have the mother rock. So there we have to irrigate. But in the Piedmont, not 100%, but 90% of the parcel we don't need to irrigate. And so we select the rootstock depending on the soil, okay? And then the varieties was nature that tell us what to do. Let's say the hills that they are looking north,
yep,
they receive the sun. Imagine this is the sun. So arise, 12 p.m., 3 p.m., 5 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m., and then sunset. This side is receiving the sun. If my physics is the sun, is receiving the sun directly all day.
Yeah.
So it's not good for Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Cap Franc. But Carmener and Syrah, they will resist the sun whole day. The other side, which is facing south, the sun is moving in the same way, but the angle is different. You see, it's not in the front. It's the angle is totally different. So Cabernet Sauvignon, Cap Franc, Merlot. And then, depending on the inclination, the altitude, will take the decision, will be Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon. So nature, that's why I said that you read nature. When you read nature and you understand nature, you take the decisions. Of course, it was not, we have very good result, but in some of them, it's not 100% succeed, but 95, you know. But we did it with research, looking the nature, reading nature. That was how we took the decision at that time.
That's a fantastic process. And do you still continue this process, planting new vineyards? And as you said, some little percentage of the vineyards were not that successful. Are you like changing those still?
Well, yes, that fewer hectares that they were not successful. Today we don't have it,
Okay.
but we found new areas, and today we are starting, and this is new. So for you, we are starting our white wines, because in 2018 when we start to have our different approach, the circular winemaking. I call that year the personality. Was the year that the vineyard was really, this block was totally different in personality with this one, and like each parcel was showing this is what I am. And then we realized that on the hills the soil is like 2 meters. On the hills, yeah, it's not that deep, right? 2 meters, 1.5 meters, 2.5 meters, but no more than that. Yeah. And then we realized that the roots are today, they're already touching, and sometimes they get into the mother rock. You know, the mother rock has like little cracks, yeah, and the roots goes in there. So we realized that today the roots are getting into the mother rock, and they are extracting minerals from there and flavors from there. And we don't know exactly what kind of mother rock we have. So we did a research at that time about the different mother rock that we have. And we found an amazing results, and we found two hills where we have a very special rock called Slutita. It's a volcanic rock, but it's in layers. It's a little bit and a little bit chalky. It's a little bit like in Champagne, not the same, but a little bit like that. Because you know that we are in the middle of the coastal range. The coastal range in Chile, it's the oldest soil of, at least, and I think maybe, if I'm not wrong, it's the oldest soil in South America. It was the first one that came out of the water. It's 150 million years old, and the Andes is 70 million years old. So it's like double. So it's the most, let's say, it's the soil that it has been evolving more time. So you have a lot more different type of soils than in the Andes. The Andes is younger. So the coastal range is a little bit more closer to Europe. America is always youngest than Europe, that's for sure. But since the coastal range is the first one that come out of the water, it's one of the oldest. And so we realized that we have this rock, and now we found that that rock, that hill is where the wind comes down, so the temperatures are very mild. The wind comes from the ocean. You know that the ocean, yeah, in Chile is like 12 degrees Celsius. It's very cold in this area. So that wind comes cold and refresh the area. So now we decide to plant some white varieties in that hill, in two hills, and that will be the next project, and that will be for 2028. And it will be a great blend of 5 varieties, wow, amazing flavors, and very elegant. A white to enjoy, those kind of white that you drink, and then you really feel the aromas and the flavor and the acidity. Very complex, but easy to read.
That's amazing. Thanks for watching this video. You can watch the full podcast episode by clicking here, or watch another interesting video by clicking here. Let's continue the discussion in the comment section, and see you in the next one.